Well, hey guys, I got the Titanium 200 here, and I tracked down a spool gun. I'm pretty excited about this. At the time of making this video, Harbor Freight still hasn't released a spool gun for this model. They haven't told their customers when they are. Matter of fact, I sent off 2 emails to Harbor Freight in the last month and a half, and they never got back to me on it. So boo on Harbor Freight's part. Come on guys, you gotta get back to your customers about this stuff. Anyways, I found this one online, and I'm pretty excited about hooking it up. It's got this special 5-prong quick release plug-in on it, just the same as the titanium and gas. It's for an existing different company's welder, and it should plug right onto here. So we're going to show you guys how to hook it up. We're going to do some test welds with it, and I'm going to give you guys an overall feeling of what I think about this spool gun, and we'll go over where I sourced them and where you can find them. So stick around, check out the video, guys. So one of the cool things about this style of spool gun is some of the older welders I've seen, you would actually have to take off the MIG lead and coil your wire back up into here to plug in and use that terminal inside of here for your spool gun. This one you can leave your MIG lead on if you want. You get your quick disconnect that hooks right up here. You leave your power wire going back to the main power block. You got this little fitting right here. You hook onto this little butterfly nut on here, and you run your gas inside. There's a quick disconnect for it, so we'll get hooking it up. All right, just 2 more steps. Disconnect the gas, hook the new one up, and there's a MIG / spool gun switch up here, so we'll put that in the up position and we're ready to power it up and get welding. Got 100% pure argon hooked up to the regulator. I got the tip off of here to show you guys. It just takes standard consumables. These are just some Lincoln Electric you can get at Home Depot or Lowe's. It's the same as the Vulcan titanium, same tips, so nothing odd there. So like commonly with welders, the aluminum specs on this thing are definitely way off. They're way too hot, and those are just kind of get you in the ballpark. It's not even really in the ballpark. I know it's the same with the Vulcan when I set it up like that too. You kind of got to dial in your own settings. I hear this is common with all types of welders. Even millers have this issue. So anyways, I'm going to start welding here. I'm figuring out the best settings I can get this thing to run at with the least amount of soot and the cleanest looking welds. So anyways, I'm going to post, as I do each one of these plates here, I'm going to post the specs of all the gas flows, the aluminum I'm welding with, the wire, all the diameter size, and all that, the settings. So it'll be posted on the side so you guys can check them out. And that's the best I can get on it. So we're going to get welding here. All right, bring you in for that shot. All right, here's the weld. Minimal amount of soot down the side. A few little splatters at the end there, but I think they turned out pretty good. As you guys can see, there's almost no soot on this. Just a little bit along that top edge. I haven't brushed it. So, I don't know what other people do. I don't really care about this subject as much. This works for me. I got this plate here, and I'll put the specs and what I've been welding it to. But when I go to actually tack weld the stuff together, I don't want like a glob of cold weld on it. So actually take the voltage, leave the wire speed the same, just crank up the volts 2 more volts, put a really hot tack on each point, and then when I get ready to weld, I drop it down the 2 volts again to the normal settings, and I'll show you guys that. Helps to have the ground on the piece. So you guys will see on the uphill side, there's just a little bit of soot down that weld. Not bad. But anyways, this is the only plate I did not preheat. I want to show you guys that. And you can see it's a little globbier, a little taller at the beginning down here by the clamp. And by preheating it just now, 10 seconds or so, it really helps out with the start out. And it just kind of gets the metal up to temperature right off the bat. There you go. And that little crater at the end, I should have tried to come back and fill over it a little bit more. It gets a little tough when you stop at all. It starts getting really hot. But ideally, you want to fill that little crater in at the very end. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video here. This is a quick little video I want to put together just to get this spool gun running on here and see how it did. Like I said, the chart settings sucked in here. They weren't good. I hear this is common across the board with almost all welders when it comes to spool guns. Anyways, and the wire size I used was 40-43 wire, and it was 030, and there's not even a chart on here for that size wire. And like I said, I ran the regular chart with the regular size wire, and it welded awful. I had to dial that one in too. But down the road, this is 1/8 inch 6061 aluminum. Down the road, I wouldn't mind doing some other tests with different styles and different kinds of wire and different thicknesses of aluminum. See if we can figure out good gas flow ratings and wire feed speed and voltage. And if I do that video, I'll put a link up above to it when I get time to do that. And as much as I don't really want to do the cut and acid etch test because I find it really boring and time consuming, there's going to be some dude that's irritated I'm doing a damn review on these things and got to call me out on every single thing I do. So they're going to want to see that because there's trolls out there and they bitch about everything. So yeah, it's boring for me to do the acid etch test, but I'll cut them and do it. As you guys know, I don't really want to do it, but I will. It's a fine spool gun. It doesn't feel like the highest of quality, but it's not the lowest of quality. The Miller I have here is a hair better, but this gun, you know, for the price, it's really not that bad. If you're doing something commercially, you're not going to be using a gun like this anyways. But around a homeowner or around the farm or projects like that, it's going to hold up just fine. You know, it is what it is, you know. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Oh, almost forgot. I got the spool gun from Northern Tool. But I'm going to put a link below to Amazon where you guys can get the same spool gun, same price. If you guys go through that link, it helps me out a lot because I don't make really much on YouTube doing these videos. It's kind of a labor of love. And if you purchase through that link, it does help support these videos so I can make more of them. And I think I've seen a few of these spool guns come up on eBay. But like I said, there's a link below. That'd be rad if you guys use that. If you don't, go to Northern Tool, whatever you want to do. But if you guys please can hit like and subscribe, share the video, whatever you can, it helps promote the channel. All right, you guys, I got to get ready. I got to go to bed. I got to get up at 4 in the morning. So it's time for me to go to bed. Good night, good day, whatever it is. See you guys until next time. Bye.